Welcome back. It is time for the chat room, and joining me today in Brisbane is Nine's Melissa Downs, and in Sydney,
Hello,
Mike Dalton. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Peter.
How are we?
G'day, Mel.
How are you? Good.
Good. OK, let's start with illegal downloaders. Australians are among the worst in the world, and the party might finally be over. The government has announced a plan to crack down on the illegal practice. A cross-Senate committee has given the tick of approval to a law that would give power to big companies to block sites that offer pirated content. Essentially, they would be able to ask the federal government to block offending sites. So, Melissa, first of all, what's your take on this? Is it about time?
Well, look, I think something has to be done, or the government has to be seen to be doing something, because these companies that produce the shows, I mean, they spend a lot of money putting these shows together, and why shouldn't they get something back for that? I mean, we talk about Game of Thrones. Why do people love it? Because it's well made. It's, you know, the sets are amazing, the costumes are amazing, the actors are good, the script is good, all of those, the editing's good, all of those other behind-the-scenes roles. I mean, why shouldn't those people get paid? And the way they get money to pay them is for people to either pay for Foxtel or pay to watch it. So I think the government has to be seen to be doing something, although how successful it will be, well, that time will tell, won't it? Because, you know, with these sorts of things, they're like mushrooms. You know, cut one off and it pops up somewhere else. Yep,
that's a good point. So, Mike, what shows do you illegally download? What's your take on this?
Mate, I've got dramas finding the on button on my machine, and good luck policing the internet. The genie's well and truly out of the bottle. Policing the internet is trying to play whack-a-mole with 17 moles. And that's the problem with the internet. It's full of wormholes and rat runs that any savvy teenager can negotiate. The problem with this legislation is that once you close down one site, another 10 mirror sites pop up, which replicate what was on that banned site in the first place. They've tried this in the UK. They introduced a similar law in 2011, and this is exactly how it's played out. But I suspect the end game of the free internet is well underway. Warner Brothers, just in the last month or so, started hunting down people who illegally loaded down the Dallas Buyers Club, the film, and just in fact this week started doing so again with downloads of Friends, believe it or not, the 90s sitcom. So I think whilst we've had free internet for 20 years, I think it's going to be another 2 decades before we fully come to terms with the concept of actually paying for stuff off the net.
Yeah, it feels like we've come a long way since Napster. Remember Napster? That was one of the first illegal music downloading.
Well, if you really want to go back, I remember, you know, when CDs first came out, and there used to be those stores that would have all the CDs, and you'd go and, you know, borrow, like a library, and you'd borrow the CD for the night, and everyone would tape copies. That's when we still had tapes. I mean, that's what people did then, and they existed. So this is just a modern form of that. All of, you know, it's been happening always, and if they stop this, then something else will happen. But someone, you know, the people who produce these shows, they have to earn money somehow. Otherwise, they'll stop producing those shows.
Good point. All right, on to the next one, and this is one of those only in